welcome to the Keyboard Road Warrior with me, Movie Scouser 007, where we play Euro Truck Simulator 2 with just a laptop and its keyboard. So, we made it to Gdańsk. This is where we are in the world. And we bought the garage in Gdańsk, although we're not putting any drivers in it. That's going to be our pattern from now on. We'll go to places that we don't have a garage. But if we can't find a place that we haven't visited yet, or a place with a capital that we haven't bought. So, for instance, Luxembourg. We have been to Luxembourg, but we haven't actually bought the garage, even though it's a capital. We'll do the same, I think, in Bern, because Bern is the capital of Switzerland, and I'm not 100% certain, but I don't think we have a garage in Bern. And I'll just double check because I have my list of garages. No, we don't have one in Bern. So let us go and repair our vehicle, get some rest, and then we'll go and pick a destination. So in Gdańsk, so we go back to the map. Okay, we need to take a left and then just follow the road around until we get to the repair station. So let's up the volume just a bit. Oh, parking brake. Idiot. I so rarely remember to put the parking brake on that when I move off with the parking brake on, I forget that I've done it. Ooh, easy, easy. Oh, crap. No. Ugh. And I'm starting this one as I mean to continue it by crashing into everything and driving really carelessly. It's possibly because I'm a little bit excited at the moment. I had a very late night last night. As you know, as you may be aware, I'm a football fan, but I'm the other side of the planet from the football team that I follow. That football team, Liverpool Football Club, is having a very exciting year, and I'm the wrong side of the planet to be a part of that. Oh no, not stuttering, please, no stuttering. Please tell me it's not. It can't be. No, I deleted McAfee, so it can't be McAfee. Oh, and we are going in here on the right. So let's get this sorted. Let's get this truck sorted. Let's get some rest. Let's see what money we have, and let's see where we can get some gainful employment. Then we'll start talking about why I'm excited and why my driving might be a little erratic at the moment. So, £501 for 2% damage on the engine, £197 for 1% on the transmission, £917 for 4% on the chassis, £1,818 for 3% on the cabin, and £225 for 2% on the wheels. So we had about 4% damage in total. Okay, so that's £3,658. That's fine. We're £250,000 away from £8 million. So I think we can cope with a little bill like that. All right. So, let's get some rest. Let's just straighten up so we can see what's what. So, engine off. Rest number one. Of course, it's raining. But thankfully, it's not raining anymore. It's 5 in the afternoon, which means at some point during this journey we are going to be at night time, but at least we're going to start it in the daytime. That's cool. Possibly we can sleep through the night part portion. So, freight market. Let's get ourselves some gainful employment. How about that? So, let's remind the game that we're in Gdańsk. Helsinki is a capital that we haven't been to, we haven't got the garage for. This is fantastic. Yep, there's nothing else this is also as a result of the fix to 6.2. If you remember when we had 6.0, Helsinki was, it thought Helsinki was the same town you're in. So that is wonderful. So, Helsinki, big fat payoff. Much bigger than that job from Gdańsk. That's right. No, we're taking petrol. That is going to be a relatively unstable load, but we have got a long wheelbase trailer, which is good. That means that we're going to have a relatively stable time by comparison. So, Gdańsk. Let's click on the load. Let's get it centered on the screen if we can. No, we can't, because that's the top of the map. So of course it's not going to do that, is it? Alright, so that's our image. Okay, we're ready to rock. Right, let's go and pick up our load. So, engine on. Oh. And I've got a feeling we might be going to a depot that we've already been to. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a struggle to get across. We might have to force our way in the first gap on this side of the road. Actually, let's use our indicator, see if that helps us get across, see if anyone spots our indicators and lets us out. So far, no one is helping us and everyone's giving us the finger. Metaphorically speaking, obviously, not literally, because they're sprites and they don't have fingers. Alright, I think we might have a gap there, and I think we have a gap after that one. Oh, no, too much steering. I'm using the wrong... I was using the wrong key to steer. I was using the 0 key, which doesn't steer you anywhere. Okay, so right, we're rested, we are headed towards our load. So now it's towards the end of the season. Now obviously by the time you watch this, the season will be over, so you'll either be laughing at me because my dreams died in a mist of own goals and all sorts of other things, or you'll be bored because many other people will have talked about this result relentlessly and its impact on our season. However, for me it's just happened. Today is the 14th of April. It's nearly halfway through the month. I am almost a month away from coming back to the United Kingdom. But by the time I do that, the football season will be over and whatever happened will have occurred. But last night I stayed up to follow the Liverpool versus Manchester City game. It's the it was the 34th game, 33rd game, sorry, of the 2013-2014 season. And it was against title rivals Manchester City. So for Liverpool, it was incredibly important. Right, we're in here, and yes, it is a depot that we've been to, but never mind. And I think that is our load right there in front of us. So let's take that. Liverpool have had a fantastic second half of the season. In the league, they haven't lost since Boxing Day, which, for those of you who are not English or from a country where England was a... Ah, crap. Right, so, sorry, got a bit distracted, and again I'm pressing the wrong buttons. When meaning to break, I kept bashing the wrong key, so... Right, we're good, let's go. It was the 33rd game. Oh, sorry, I'm repeating myself, but I don't know where I got to, so I'm just going to get it out. 33rd game in a 38 game season. It's against title rival. It was against title rivals Manchester City. Manchester City currently sitting in third. They have a game in hand on Liverpool, 2 games in hand on most other teams, most of the other teams in the league. It's vitally important, particularly given that they're a team that are hoping to get that win, their title. So I think I laid out the league for you the last time I talked about Liverpool. Not a great deal has changed. We have 2 points over Chelsea. So 4 points. Forget now. 4 points over Chelsea. 7 points over Manchester City as a result. Now you'll say 7 points. That's because Liverpool actually beat Manchester City. And for the first half of the game, it looked like a foregone conclusion. It looked like a relatively easy win. And then the second half happened. For some reason, Liverpool decided that they wanted to make this game more exciting, more difficult, more stressful for their fans. Manchester City changed one player for another. They brought on James Milner. Now, I never figured Milner for being quite as important as it turned out he would be. James Milner, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to crash head on into a red car. But with that change, the Manchester City game seemed up. Now, they did have 3 returning players who've been off injured. And it may be that we got lucky that those players weren't 100% up to snuff, particularly Vincent Kompany. I highly rate Vincent Kompany. He's an excellent defender. Belgian international, he's a centre-back, he's their captain, but he's been off injured for a while, and today was his first game back. I get why they played him. I get the importance of the game. It meant that they felt that they had to play 3 players that have been off injured. I think, aside from Kompany, who I know was off, and Aguero, who I know was off, I think the third one was Samir Nasri. But I'm not 100% certain about that. They played those 3 players. Now, it might be that those 3 players weren't 100% match fit, and that might have resulted in an easy first half for Liverpool. We're slowing down. Is this a toll booth? Whoops. We do need to be in this lane, I think, because we're taking a left turn. I can see that on my GPS, and I'm not going to get fooled by that again. So, at half-time, Liverpool were 2-0 up. We were up after about 12 minutes from a Raheem Sterling goal. An excellent goal by Raheem Sterling. Then, I think after about 25 minutes, we were 2-0 up. Skirtle scored with a header from a corner. And that's the way it stayed until half-time. And then Liverpool decided to start making things difficult for themselves. About 53 minutes in, they conceded a goal. I can't remember off the top of my head who scored it. And then 10-15 minutes later, confusion in the box, and Glenn Johnson scores an own goal, and it's 2-2. So that's on the hour mark. It's half an hour of the game left. 60 minutes played, and then 15 minutes later, Philippe Coutinho, the little Brazilian wizard that periodically is untouchable and genius, and then periodically will disappear for no apparent reason. You forget he's on the pitch. He came up with a moment of brilliance and put us 3-2 ahead. Now, there are two contentious decisions. Liverpool felt they had a penalty shout when Vincent Kompany pulled. The perils of using a phone to record video footage is that when someone calls you, it shuts the video down, and that's what's just happened. My wife called me with an urgent message. By urgent, I mean not urgent at all. So we briefly had a break in proceedings, but we're all right now. Okay, so I've no idea where I was. We will slow down a little, because in spite of the fact that it says national speed limit, all this traffic is moving like it was driving behind a Sunday driver. So, oh, look at all that lovely cash at the top right hand corner of our GPS counter, of our GPS. £8.2 million. So yes, Liverpool's game against Manchester City. It was a very stressful thing to watch and listen to. Obviously, I'm in New Zealand. I'm only here for a year, and so it wasn't practical to sign up for Sky. Plus, as I've repeatedly stated, Rupert Murdoch is a scumbag of epic proportions that I want nothing to do with, and so I had no intention of ever giving that. I want to use a really bad word, but I'm not going to, because I'd like to think I'm better than him. But I'm never giving him any of my money. Never, under any circumstances. Although my principles won't stop me from letting other people give him money and then me watching it. So, for instance, at a friend's house or in a pub. Or Virgin Media, if that's the way we go, or a cable service that's any of the cable services, that have connection to the football, where it's not too expensive, where they've bought a bulk package, and Anyway, so I listened to it. I listened to a radio commentary, and I had the BBC's website ticker, so I had 2 points of views. BBC tends to be quite neutral, and they're not particularly fond of Liverpool Football Club for some reason. Although they're not. I don't know whether it's the personal bias of the individual reporters or not, but they seem to have been relatively gentle on Liverpool this season. And given that Steven Gerrard is 32, 33, and a lot of the commentators have got a soft spot in him. They admire him. He's been he's been a relatively good ambassador for the game of football. He's not one of these tattooed idiots. He's a married man with 3 kids. He's stable. He rarely goes out and gets him, and he's only ever got himself into trouble on a couple of occasions, and that's probably primarily because he's a target rather than because he's done anything particularly wrong. However, I should have noticed that this is a bit dark, so I'm going to brighten it up a bit so that you guys can see. And a lot of neutrals are kind of hoping that Liverpool get the title, not for Liverpool, but for Steven Gerrard. Also, a lot of commentators have taken a shine to Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers isn't one of these flamboyant, look at me kind of managers. He's very calm, down to earth, respectful, quite honest, and a lot of the commentators, although they don't like the fact that he's not very quotable like Mourinho is, I think they respect him. And so we're getting a lot of neutral support as a direct result of that. Now, obviously, should our success, I love the team and they've always been my team, but I don't play for them or work for them, which is actually more's the pity. But should Liverpool Football Club start winning regularly, repeatedly, without remorse, then obviously all that goodwill will go, as tends to happen. Kids tend to suddenly start supporting your club, and the commentators and journalists and fans of other smaller teams start hating you, or particularly your rivals. I mean, we will never get the sympathy of Manchester United fans. We'll never get the sympathy of Everton fans. And Chelsea fans will never get their sympathy. I think other clubs, mid-table clubs, smaller clubs at the bottom of the league, we might get some sympathy from them. We might get the occasional bit of love when we have a good result that's good for the country. So, for instance, a good run in the Champions League. But so we have 4 games left to go, and they are as follows. And I think I've reiterated these, but we've had a few games since I last spoke. So we've got our next game is against Norwich. Norwich are a bit screwed. They're not as screwed as Sunderland and I think I want to say Fulham, but possibly, yeah. They're not as screwed as Sunderland and Fulham, but they are screwed. Then we've got Chelsea. And Chelsea are a little bit hit and miss, and also we have the added benefit that Chelsea are concentrating on the Champions League this year. They're into the semi-finals, and they are playing against Atletico Madrid. And so they will concentrate on that, and it might be that they play a different team against Liverpool than they would, because they've got that Champions League game midweek after the Liverpool game. So that could help us. Then we have Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace hopefully will be safe and in the Premier League and not that bothered about the Liverpool game. They might be playing that one for fun rather than desperation, and that makes them less dangerous. The quality of their play is not nearly, hopefully, is not nearly as good as Liverpool's, but desperation can bring something out of you. It can bring hidden depths that you weren't aware of, and it can cause you to fight harder. It can have a strange effect on a team. Now, I'm hoping that Crystal Palace will be safe, so that we don't get that difficult a game. And then our final game of the season is against Newcastle. And I would like for Liverpool to win the title. I've waited 24 years for it to happen. 1989 to 90 was the last time that Liverpool won a title. That was when they were spearheaded by John Barnes and Peter Beardsley. It's been a long time that I've waited, and to my chagrin, I really became seriously interested in football after we stopped winning everything. I've often thought of myself as a bit of a jinx for the club. Obviously, that's stuff and nonsense. I don't believe in that kind of codswallop. Superstitions are as pointless as religion. But it doesn't stop me from having them, which is why I'm sympathetic towards people of religion, and why I've got a lot of friends who are religious, and I don't ridicule them for their religious beliefs. If you want to believe in a supernatural imaginary friend in the sky, that's completely up to you, provided it doesn't impact on my life. But as I said, I have these superstitions. I can't help it. The intellectual half of my brain knows that superstitions are nonsense, but the emotional part of my brain can't help but give in to them. We've still got a little bit of time. Where are we? We're 9 o'clock in the morning. got 6 hours, so that takes us to what, midnight, and then 11 hours takes us to about lunchtime. So the second half of our journey, hopefully, should be in the daytime. Obviously, we've got 2 little ferry journeys. I think we're going up through Denmark, and then we'll take a... Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, for fuck's sake. What the fuck was that all about? Ah! That makes me really angry. Well, I'm getting past him, because that's just annoying. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You caused me enough problems, you scumbag. Oh, that's infuriating. That's so infuriating. I'm never going to get another excellent again. They gifted me one about 3 or 4 journeys ago just to tease me. Okay, but I'm never going to regularly get an excellent again. I think that's it now, so... Bollocks. Where was I? Yes, so 24 years ago was the last time that Liverpool won a title. If you've ever read the book Fever Pitch or seen the film with Colin Firth in it, that's pretty much how I felt for quite a while. Like it's never going to happen to me again, and then, it finally happens. Now, obviously, that was about Arsenal, and Arsenal have had the sporadic title between then and between when that film was set and now. But my hope, the plan for Liverpool Football Club was to get into the top 4, to get into the Champions League. That was the aim. That was what they wanted. 4th place or better. Now, I think mathematically we're safe. I think mathematically that target has been well and truly achieved. We will play in the Champions League. I desperately hope that we maintain a top 3 place at least, so that we don't have to play the pre-qualifiers. But I really want us to win the league, and I'm trying not to jinx it again. My stupid, emotional, superstitious half of my brain is trying not to jinx it by not saying, we've done it now, because we haven't. There are still 4 games. It's still possible. If we don't win those 4 remaining games against Norwich, against Chelsea, against Crystal Palace, and against Newcastle United, there's every chance that we can be overtaken by Chelsea and or Manchester City. So it's not done and dusted yet. It's not a foregone conclusion. It's not over. But we are the closest we've been since I was a working man. Well, actually, no, I've been a working man since I was 18. But it's the closest we've been since I've been a serious follower of Liverpool football. Oh, sugar. Right, gonna have to go round. Oh, and I'm also gonna have to get on the right side of the bleeding road as well. Right, I think we can take a left here. And oh, there's a garage. No. Yeah, I can take a little fine. I can take a £280 fine if it means that I get... It means that I get to my destination faster. Sorry, I'm concentrating on directions here, and I was also still contemplating purchasing that Szczesny, the garage of the city whose name I cannot bleed and pronounce because I keep forgetting to look it up. Okay, so I'm not talking about us as having won the title yet. Still 4 games. I will never forget in my late 20s when Newcastle were managed by Kevin Keegan and they had an 11-point gap, an 11-point lead over Manchester United in April, and they threw it away. And Manchester United won the league. I'll never forget that. So I'm always acutely aware that the job isn't done until it's mathematically impossible for the other team to overtake you. Now, it's possible for us to mathematically screw Chelsea. They are 2 points behind us. We can put them 5 points behind us with only 6 games to go. Actually, no, that wouldn't do it. That wouldn't be enough. It's not mathematically impossible, I think, until the last day of the season if every team wins their remaining fixtures. If Manchester City stumble in their next couple of games, and if Chelsea stumble in their next couple of games, then we can do it before the end of the season. But I've got a feeling that Liverpool's title will go down to the last game of the season. It's not a situation I'm comfortable with because we've lost titles. We've lost titles at the end of the season before now. We did it. In fact, that infamous game that I was talking about that's featured in the book, the infamous season that I'm talking about that's featured in the book that was written by Hornby about called Fever Pitch. The last game of the season when Arsenal win the title is because Liverpool lose to Arsenal. Michael Thomas famously scores the winning goal, and then we buy him and he becomes useless. Yes, and that was the last game of the season. Liverpool were expected to win the title and they didn't. They failed the final hurdle, so it's still possible for Liverpool to stumble in the last 4 games. We have won 10 games in a row now. So I don't know whether it's pushing our luck to win 14 games in a row. But we haven't been beaten in the league this year, in 2014. We've been beaten in the league in this season, but not this year. So I am very nervous. I was very nervous about that Manchester City game beforehand. I had butterflies in the run up to the game. When the Manchester City equalised with the Glenn Johnson own goal, my heart sank and I thought, oh no, here we go again. Liverpool is teasing me to go and throw it away, but it seems like the teasing is going to go on a couple more games. There were, aside from the 2 goals, which were a major blow, we were 2-0 up. I thought we were cruising. We were all over them. Manchester City had barely had one chance on goal in the first half, 2-9, I think. And then in the second half, it was a different story. But one of the downsides was Luis Suarez had a particularly bad game. It's not just that he didn't score, he just didn't look like he was ever going to. He didn't come close. He was bad-tempered. He was back to his old bad self, which was a worrying sign. And he was starting to dive in order to try and manipulate. He did it a couple of times, and then that's what ultimately cost us the penalty shout, because I think the referee just assumed he was having another go at it. The own goal, that was just a product of what was happening in the game. we'd conceded and we were worried, and this was vital, and everyone in the ground was nervous, including the crowd. The crowd started to get nervous and stopped singing, stopped driving the team forward, which was also a worry. Liverpool has historically been one of those sides that sings and cheers no matter what, but over recent years that's changed a little, and I've noticed in the last 5 to 10 years that the crowd gets very nervous, and that makes the team nervous for some reason. The other downside, the major blow, is Jordan Henderson's red card, straight red card, which means a 3-game ban. We've got 4 games left. I very much doubt he will feature again. I think if they perform well in the next 3 games, I don't think there'll be any need to bring Jordan back. So Jordan's England Jordan's chances of impressing Roy Hodgson and into getting a starting berth for Rio diminishing. I think it may not come into it. He may have done enough already, but I think it was a silly thing to do. I don't think it was necessarily necessary. Now there's a redundancy for you. I don't think it was necessary for him to do what he did. Now, it was described by the audio commentator as a 2-footed challenge. I have watched the clip. It's not a 2-footed challenge, it's a 1-footed challenge. He gets the ball first, then he gets the shin of the player. Now, I don't believe that if you get the ball and then do a horrendous injury by clattering into the player, that you can justify it by saying, well, he got the ball. I would be a hypocrite to say otherwise. But I'm a bit confused because a lot of the time, as long as you get the ball, the referee won't do it. I don't know whether Liverpool are going to question the red card. I very much doubt they will. I think given that they have questioned stuff before and it's backfired spectacularly, particularly the Patrice Evra Luis Suarez row. That backfired on us spectacularly. It exploded in Kenny Dalglish's face, and I think it's one of the reasons why he was removed at the end of the season and replaced with Brendan Rodgers. They felt maybe his judgment wasn't quite as it should have been. Making the other players wear those Luis Suarez shirts now looks stupid. And it made Liverpool Football Club stupid, and it damaged our reputation. A football club's reputation is very hard. A good reputation is very hard to win, and so easy to throw away. And so I would imagine that Liverpool will not bother to appeal the red card. They might appeal the ban, the length of the ban. They might try and get it down to 1 game, but I doubt they'll appeal the red card itself. I think they might try and suggest that actually it was a second yellow, it was a yellow card offence, and that at best it's a 1-game ban. We'll see. But Jordan Henderson has really improved his game this season. He's stepped up, and in recent games he's actually stepped up and started contributing to the goal tally. I think one of the remarkable things about the Liverpool-Manchester City game in the run-up to it was the recognition that these are the two most free-scoring sides in the league. That between them, prior to the game, they'd scored 174 goals. Just 2 clubs in one season in the Premier League had scored 174 goals. Now another 5 were added to that, so that's nearly 180 goals between 2 teams in 60 plus matches. Right, I wonder how much of a rest we're going to get here. Right, so just 2 hours. We're not really going to get a rest. £272 for a 2-hour journey to the little island of Denmark, and then I think we go across the bridge into Sweden. So it's not another boat trip, but there will be a boat trip between, I think, Sweden and Finland. So, yes, 2 hours knocked off our journey time, that's fine. We've got 5 hours until we've got to take a rest, so we're all right rest-wise for the time being. We're all right for petrol. And we got away with that red light, that's good. I don't like stopping when there's no traffic, and there was no traffic, so it was relatively safe to blast through. So, the squad, the team that played was the same team that had played against West Ham. Mignolet in goal, who produced a couple of good saves, apparently. Then the central defensive pairing of, I think, Skirtle and Agger. Then the wingers were John Flanagan on the left and Glenn Johnson on the right. Then we had a central defense. Then we had a midfield of a diamond midfield of Stephen Gerrard as a defensive midfielder. Left and right of Jordan Henderson and oh crikey, I've forgotten now. Oh, that's embarrassing. I've forgotten who's on the right-hand side of the midfield. Up front, sat behind the two strikers, would be Felipe Coutinho, and then the two strikers, Daniel Sturridge and Luis Suarez. It's going to bug me who that extra midfielder was. That's going to really annoy me. Oh, Raheem Sterling. In fact, no. Coutinho would have been the central midfielder, and Raheem Sterling would have sat just behind the two strikers. Now, another minor blow was that Daniel Sturridge got a knock and was withdrawn for Joe Allen. So at 2-2, he took off a striker and put on a midfielder who hasn't got a sterling reputation amongst Liverpool fans and observers, which is a shame. He's not quite lived up to the expectation yet. He was purchased right at the very beginning of Brendan Rodgers' run-in. Brendan thought he was good enough at Swansea, and he brought him in from Swansea as he did with Fabio Borini. I don't think either of those players have quite managed to step up to the crease, to use a cricketing metaphor. If you're American, step up to the crease is pretty much this. It's the cricket version of step up to the plate. I don't know whether Fabio Borini's year-long loan spell at Sunderland will have changed anything. It might have. He might have. He was injured for about a quarter of the season. The first season he came to us, and so then he really couldn't demonstrate his abilities. But he's been at Sunderland and he's scored a few goals for Sunderland. But I don't know that he's scored enough. But we're now in a position where we need a large squad, but not just a large squad full of a first team of world-class players and then a squad of make-weights. We need to start building up a squad that can cope with playing on 4 different fronts. This is one of the reasons why it's much harder to build a squad in England than it is in, say, Spain or France. We have 2 domestic cup competitions. In Spain, you only have the League, the Copa del Rey, and Europe. We have the League, we have the FA Cup, we have the League Cup, and we have Europe. So if you're in the top 5, you can potentially be playing 5 different fronts. Now, obviously, the League Cup gets most of its stuff out of the way, and in fact, the League Cup final is in February, I think, and there's a gap, so that you're not playing, literally playing four different competitions simultaneously. They sort of mix and match, but it can still be quite difficult. And that's Copenhagen, so we're near to the bridge, so we'll be taking the bridge into Sweden. So we've still got 25 hours to go. So let's quickly look at the map and see where all that time is. So it's that huge chunk there. Oh, we do have quite a ferry ride. I would imagine that we'll get a sleep there. And then Helsinki is going to be quite... Oh my goodness me, that will take quite some time to explore. But, ironically, only one discoverable. For all of that you have to explore, you get one flippin' discoverable. And I'm pretty sure that it's a dealership rather than a... I think we might go through Stockholm and get that garage. We might fill that garage. We also, I would love to get this. This is the home of, as you can see by all the Scania logos, this is the home of Scania. Sud Italia, I believe it's pronounced. So we are going to need to rest in a little bit. We are all the way down here, so we do have quite a way to go. And I think we will probably rest after Malmo. I think we've got enough time. We've got enough time to get to Malmo. We've got nearly 4 hours. So, Mignolet had a reasonably good game. So, another player that came on was Colo Torre. Now, Colo Torre is a lovely fella and has been a genuinely brilliant player, but he's getting on now. He's in his 30s. He's nowhere near as fast as he used to be. And he's been responsible for a couple of disastrous mistakes. I think he almost certainly cost us... one goal. I think he cost us a win against... Oh, crikey, I can't remember who now. That's annoying. He punted a short pass back to Mignolet and it was intercepted, and the goal was scored. Do you know, I think it might have been... trying to think who we've drawn. So we have a bit of a dilemma. I mean, Daniel Lager is an outstanding centre back, but he has become a little bit injury prone of late, and it might be that Brendan Rodgers wants to replace him. Now, Colo Torre was brought in on a free. He didn't cost us any money. Whoa. Sorry, moving my mouse out of the way. So I don't accidentally touch it. But that does mean that when I'm moving it, it does move my view. Right. Let's get over and let's get into the toll booth on the left-hand side. So we're looking at all sorts of options. I don't know what those options might be. £151. That astonishes me that that's so bloody expensive. I think it's the most expensive toll booth in the game. I think it's the toll booth for the bridge between Denmark and Sweden. Oh, this is the exit for a train as well. Although it's not the Eurotunnel, because that doesn't go. Look, some of the stuff that they just throw in. If you looked over to the left, you wind it back a couple of seconds and look over to the left after that, the reverse view of that tunnel I was just talking about. The detail of building columns and amazing. This is Malmo. So after this, we need to start thinking about a rest break. Yeah. I think we will miss the first rest stop that comes our way and take the second. A centre back we definitely need. We are going to need to start, and this is horrifying. This is a horrifying thought for me as a Liverpool fan, because he's been. Oh my God, they're still disappearing. They still haven't sorted that. And I don't know whether that's ProMods or SCS, but that needs to be sorted. That's embarrassing. That totally rips you out of the reality of the game. Yes, the thought I don't want to think about, the thing I don't want to think about, the thing that horrifies me is that Steven Gerrard is reaching the end of his Liverpool career. I mean, this is one of the reasons why somebody in the neutrals are rooting for us, is to get Steven Gerrard that Premier League medal that his skill and talent has so richly deserved, and he's never been able to achieve up to now with Liverpool Football Club. It's one of the reasons why he was so emotional at the end of the Man City game, because he's within 4 games of that one medal that all Liverpool fans want him to have. That one thing that eludes him. As you know, there are 2 things that lose him. The World Club Cup is the only other trophy he could win that he hasn't won. He's won the League Cup, the FA Cup. He's won the UEFA Cup, which is now the Europa League. He's won the European Cup, the Champions League. He's won the Community Shield or Charity Shield, depending on how old you are. He hasn't won the league, and he hasn't won the World Club Cup. Now, of the 2, the league is the one that's absolutely the priority for him, and it might be the World Club Cup is just a step too. Oh, he's won the European Super Cup as well, which is the game between the winners of the European Cup and the winners of the Europa League. And Liverpool have won that twice. Once after in 2002, after they'd won the UEFA Cup, the treble season, and once in 2006 after 2005 after they'd won the European Cup against AC Milan. They then went ahead and won the UEFA Super Cup. So he's won everything, almost every major honour that he can possibly win, bar the one I think that he probably wanted the most, which is the league. I think it's the one that all Liverpool fans will tell you. The league gets you into Europe, and that's the reward, but the hard work, the jewel in the crown, has been our 18 league titles at the top flight. And we've been eclipsed by Manchester United. I mean, thankfully Ferguson retired before he could push it any further. But we are now 2 times. Oh my God, see there, again, that blue van just disappeared right before our very eyes. And it's not right. That shouldn't be happening. And I don't know why. So, that's what we're looking at the moment. We're looking at 4 games. Well, I'm looking at, watching or listening to 4 FA Cup, 4 European Cup finals, 4 League Cup finals, 4 finals, 4 cup finals, Every single game now is a must-win. You cannot lose any of the next 4 games and expect to win the title. It's completely in their hands. It's one of the good things. Is it is completely in their hands. All right. Yeah, I think we might get this one. Yeah, or maybe after Jonkoping. We'll see. We'll see how far we can push it. Still got an hour and a half. Look at that, £13,000 from Euro. This is why we're getting the big bucks. This is why we've got £8.5 million burning a hole in our bank balance. We're about to spend a lot of that very quickly. We're about to put 2 fully staffed garages. Two fully staffed Volvo garages into our empire. Which is awesome. I've also heard a rumour that that ProMods are creating Eindhoven, which means that I'll finally be able to place that DAF garage, because DAF is based in Eindhoven. And I had originally put the DAF garage, I was originally going to put the DAF garage in Rotterdam, because that's the closest city to Eindhoven. But if ProMods are going to put Eindhoven in the game, then I'll just hang on. And I'll put the garage, the DAF garage, in Eindhoven when it arrives. So I'm not sure whether we've passed. If we get to Linkoping, I'll know we've passed that first. Right, so now the sleep warning is at red, which means that we now start to we have to probably take the next rest stop. Given that we're on the slip road, we're on the hard shoulder, which becomes the slip road, it should be easier for us to... Oh no. No, we're alright. Oh, hello, he just disappeared. Okay, that helped us, but I'd rather that we'd had to work for that. That was bollocks. I think it's ProMods, because I don't think this has been happening in the main map. I think the vehicles disappearing is ProMods. I don't know whether that's because they've not done something, or they've taken a shortcut which has not worked. I don't know. It's a bit disheartening. Yeah, we're going off here. We'll get some petrol, because we are about half a tank now. We'll get some fuel, and then we'll get some rest. Actually, we'll get some fuel, we'll get some rest, and then I'll break, because actually I'm looking at the my timer, and I'm pretty much near the limit of this storage for this video. So £836 for 657.23 litres. Engine on. Let's pull up behind that big truck there. I love that there's a little ATM on the side of that garage. It's just, one of those little extra touches, which is nice. Right. Let's rest. So, it's now 4:40 PM, and we are going to pause here while I move the footage. Okay, back with you then in a moment. Okay, we're back. Footage is uploaded. Before we go anywhere, I just wanted you to listen to something. We're at a service station in the middle of nowhere. and there's no buildings, there's no, apart from the service station's buildings itself, and yet, listen to this. I'll stop doing it now that I've started talking. There are farm animals making a whinge. You can hear cows and what sound like lions, frankly. Anyway, I thought that was amusing. I thought that would amuse you for a second. Right, let us get on with this run. So you can still hear them a little bit over the noise of the engine. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Really? Come on. Maybe that's road. There we go. Encourage them to move. Thank you. I've been let out by a friendly car. So, fully rested, got another 11 hours before I've got to go to sleep. This is a 21-hour journey remaining. I should warn you, just in case you hear beeping noises and whooshing noises, it's winter now in New Zealand. Obviously, middle of April, it's when it starts to get cold in the southern hemisphere. We still have to do all of our chores. Washing still has to be done, and I need the heat pump to keep the house warm so that the clothes get dry. Now, if you're not familiar with what a heat pump is, it's essentially a climate control unit. It's like a little heater and cooler that bolts to the wall above head height, and it throws some nice warm air down. So that's what that noise is. If it fires up, you'll hear it beeping. It's got a temperature. So it's thermostatically controlled, so it has a temperature which it's been asked to maintain, and so that's what that will be. That's what those beeping noises will be. Oh, we're slowing down for some reason. I'm going to get in this lane because I don't want to be stuck in a slow lane. So, I believe we should now be rested until we get on the boat, which means that we won't need to rest again until we get to Turku. Until we get to Helsinki, and then we'll rest. We'll probably only need 2 rest periods in Helsinki. So let me just quickly check. Oh, still, we didn't actually make it to the other side of Jonkoping as I thought we possibly might be able to manage. But we are going to stop. Actually, I thought there was a garage in Södertälje, but there is no garage in Södertälje. So the Stockholm garage is going to be filled with Scanias, because that's the nearest city. So I'm glad I looked at that. So Scania, so Stockholm is Scania. So Liverpool Football Club on the brink of a title, on the brink of a very unlikely title. Liverpool are a relatively well-off club. Not massively well off. In fact, they run an operating debt, but that's partly for reasons that relate to them trying to compete with Man United and Chelsea and Arsenal and Manchester City, but it's also because they're trying to get rid of stupidity caused by Gillette and Hicks, the previous owners. They have got a number of players on their books that are being paid far too much, and they also are trying to construct an extension to the existing stadium. Anfield currently holds 35,500 people. That's not enough for a team of Liverpool stature. That ground is sold out every time they play there. I would like a season ticket at Anfield. I would happily spend. I would happily go up for the 19 games that Liverpool play at Anfield. I would happily commute from London to Liverpool for that. I have no objection to doing that. I can't at the moment because the ground doesn't have enough spare capacity. Actually, I think it's not 35, I think it's 45. My apologies, 45,500. 45,500. That's not enough. It needs to be closer to 60, possibly 70. We could fill that ground. Liverpool is a large city that can support two top-flight teams. Both Everton and Liverpool are sold out every week, and there are plenty of people around the country that would happily commute to either of those football clubs to watch them play. So yes, they're trying. There was a red herring. The Gillette and Hicks essentially bought the club to sell it for more money. That was their plan. They wanted more. Curses! I could have zipped through that rest area, which I don't have. Grr, arg, grr. Their idea was to buy the club as cheaply as they could and to sell it for as much as they could, and they didn't get away with it. They hired 3 people: Ian Eyre, Martin Broughton, and one other chap, and they were brought in to try and get as much money for the club. They were dragging the club into the mire. They bought the club in what's called a leveraged buyout, which means that you use the thing you're buying as collateral if you fail to pay the loan that you get in order to buy the thing. It's essentially like buying someone's house and using their name to borrow the money to buy their house. It's not quite, but it's that stupid. It should be outlawed. It should not be allowed in football clubs. You should not be allowed to plunge a club in tremendous debt just so that you can say, well, I own them, when in fact you don't. Several banks own them. The Wachovia Bank, which are an American bank, mostly based in the East Coast, and the Royal Bank of Scotland were the 2 financial institutions that Gillette and Hicks used to gain the finances to buy out David Moore, who owned the club at the time. It made me angry. It was what happened the year before to Manchester United, and I was angry about that on behalf of Man United fans, not the club, the fans, because it's the fans that will ultimately lose out. What will happen is that the club the owner will fail to pay off the interest in any of the loan. Ooh, I wonder if that's a fix. Fail to pay off the interest, or the loan itself, and they'll default, and then the club will be plunged into administration through no fault of its own. And then what usually happens then is, through financial irregularities, trigger a points deduction, which you can pretty much guarantee triggers a descent to the next level, a relegation to the next level. Have I missed Stockholm? No, I'm going through Linköping. I've still got quite a way until I'm Södertälje and Stockholm. So, yes, I thought it was ridiculous that the Glazer family were allowed to conduct a leveraged buyout of Manchester United, and I've got a couple of friends, more than a couple of friends, who are Man United fans. You know, poor things, they can't help it. But I could see, I had a tremendous amount of sympathy, and I was like, crikey, I'm so glad that Liverpool aren't in that situation. And then a year later, what happens? Gillette and Hicks stomp into Anfield in their cowboy boots and do exactly the same thing to Liverpool that the Glazer family did to Manchester United. It made me angry. I didn't think it was a good idea when it happened. I was never massively positive about the Gillette and Hicks era. As soon as they fell out, which pretty much happened straight away, they stopped speaking to one another, and nothing happened. They'd promised we had a stadium design which was fine, which was going to be implemented. They cancelled it. They got a Texas based architect to create a new design which looked bloody hideous. The club were going to break ground on the new stadium 4 weeks before 4 weeks after the club was bought out. That groundbreaking was cancelled. We were going to move into Stanley Park. We'd got permission from the council. It was all going to happen. We were going to move to a massive 60,000 seater stadium that could be increased to 90 through expansions. That was fine. That was what everybody at Anfield wants. Everyone in Liverpool, everyone who supports Liverpool wants them to have a bigger ground so more people can come and watch the game. They had a running track, though, around the stadium in the new design, the Gillette and Hicks design, which was counter to everything that football fans want. English football is unique in many ways in that the crowd is no more than 4 foot, no more than a metre away from the edge of the pitch. Oh, you bastard! Did you see that? That bastard! That was clearly not my fault. Although, having said that, I will look back at the footage and realise that it was my fault. But, a bastard! Oh, he's going to tuck out in front of me, isn't he? No good. Wow. That was annoying. And I got penalised for that, even though it was his fault. I'm going to say it was his fault. It does annoy me when damage occurs to your track and it's not your fault and you get penalised. Now, I can understand that with the load. You're delivering the load. It's not the recipient's fault that you got the load, that the load was damaged in transit. But the person that crashed into you should pay the difference. You shouldn't be out of pocket. This is how insurance works. That, £440 on the other hand, totally my fault. I'm speeding. I made that choice to speed. It's only £440, and that doesn't do any damage to my load, which is fine by me. So, the new owners, the Fenway Sports Group, they are also American, but they've actually bought the club. It's not a leveraged buyout. They borrowed the money, not against the club, against their own business. They have decided that while they could build a brand new stadium on Stanley Park, and they've got permission to do both the new stadium and a renovation of the existing stadium, that they've decided that it would be better for the club and better for the finances if they renovated the existing stadium. So that's what's going to happen, and Anfield is going to stay where it is. It's just going to look different, as has happened all through the years. If you look at old photographs of, say, for instance, when Billy Liddell played for Liverpool, Anfield doesn't look like anything like the Anfield of today. No, I haven't been to the one that Billy Liddell played in, but I have been to the one that currently exists. I've been to the stadium as it exists with all of the current changes made to it. I don't quite know how they're going to do it. It might be that they have to do. They might just completely shut down during the summer and completely just bulldoze, or they might clip extensions onto the ground. I don't know quite how they're going to do it. No one said what's going to happen. Ooh, there's Södertälje, quite near Stockholm. We're going to actually pull into Stockholm. We've been to Stockholm, so it's not like we're just going in there to discover a new city. But I do want. We haven't been to Södertälje yet. I want to go to Södertälje. I want that. Hey, I want that. Oh, hello. That's not friendly. Stuttering. I want that discoverable. It is the home city of Scania, so yes, hence all of the Scania paraphernalia. Let's just double check. We are absolutely certain that there's no garage that we can buy. Yeah, no. There's a garage we can use, but there isn't one that we can buy. Okay, we'll go to Stockholm and we'll fill Stockholm with Scanias. That is our plan. So I desperately want to be able to get a season ticket, and there will be a massive expense. I need to get myself on the waiting list for a season ticket, so that when the season ticket becomes available, I will have the money for it, and I'll be ready to go. Because once they expand, obviously they will offer season tickets to those on the waiting list before they open it out to everyone else. Now, I'd imagine that the expansions will be all in the form of season ticket. Yes, I need. How am I going to do this? Got to be very careful how I do this. So yes, I'll take this left, and then I'll take the next exit. All right. So this is a bit of road I've not been on. Do you know what? I think what's happened is they've completely renovated the Stockholm road network, and I just haven't been there since it happened, which is why a lot of the roads are grey. It's because I just haven't been there yet. Actually, ironically, the GPS now wants me to go through Stockholm. That's fine by me, that's where I'm headed anyway. It's a minor detour, but it's a minor detour that's going to... that's good. Nope, this is not good. Curses. I think I needed... Yeah, I think... Yeah, I'm going to have to do a U-E and come back there. Oh, no. Yeah, this way. I'm going to have to do a U-E and come back this way. That's fine. Because you can see we're about to drive under the part of Stockholm I want to be in. Right. Let's go for it. Oh, easy, 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 easy. Right, where am I going now? Yeah, I'm going right. That's alright, I can cope with spending £280. That's fine by me. Alright, £560 then. Alright, this is quite a diversion that I'm taking. And then I'm taking a right turn any second, but I am discovering new parts of the road network, which is always good. Obviously, if my destination was Stockholm, I would spend a lot of time driving around Stockholm and discovering it. But it's not. I just want the garage. And we're driving through Stockholm anyway, so that's my pathetic justification for it. Right, in the garage, I think it's just to the left. Is that right? Yeah, there we are. Right. Let's get our Stockholm garage. £144,000. Yes, I think we will. Right. Let's re-hook up to our load. Right. I'm going to use that depot there to pull the UE, so get me back on track. So, while we're in the depot, let us escape, go to Garage Manager, let's upgrade the garage in Stockholm. Where is it? There we go. Let's upgrade it and spend that extra 80 grand. Right, now this time, yeah, of course we have to go to the flyover of the large garage because, you know, that's fine. Alright. Let us go to the truck dealership. And obviously this time, oh no, hang on, we went to upgrades. That's not what I wanted. I wanted truck dealers. Right, let's go to Scania. Really? The nearest Scania dealership is in Norway. Okay. Let's buy online. So, what have we got? Streamline and an R, or a high line. Ooh, do I go with a high line? Actually, I think the high Scania, yes. Let's go with a streamline, because a high line is just is an R with a box on the roof. They've got the same 360. Let's go with that. So let's customize this bad boy. Alright. Don't think we can get much back, actually. We just leave it red. Alright, no. So we're not gonna customize it, so let's purchase it and let's put it in Stockholm. This is why it's always more complicated for me to buy the non-Volvo vehicles, is because I know the Volvo range and what I want. I don't know the Scania range very well. So I don't know what I'm buying myself into. But it did look like we had plenty of options. I mean, it's essentially the same vehicle, the Streamline and the R. If you look at them, 4x2 normal left hand, 360 bhp, 1800 newton meters, 1800 Opti-Cruise GRS 0925, 1400 litre fuel tank. I'm not 100% certain what it is that I've spent the extra 10 grand on, but seeing as we're going to upgrade them all the way at some point in the future, let's just get the lowest version of the best thing we can afford. So, right, you know the deal. I do want the guys with, I want them to have 2 skill points, but I'd rather the skill points were spread out, like Ben here. Ben is going to be the first driver employed in Stockholm. And then we are going to hire George for Stockholm. Now I have got a mod that adds an extra 100 drivers. I think it's an extra 100 drivers. Caitlin. Ooh, and Sophie as well. We'll get Sophie next. And I'm excited about that because that means that I can be less circumspect about hanging on to drivers for things like, ooh, yes, Patrick and Sophie. Oh, hang on, cancel. Just need to see which page 2, 4. They're on page 6. So. Okay. And Sophie. Boom. So that's our little empire increased just a little bit. All right. Right, that's that done. Let's pull a Yui. Let's get ourselves to Helsinki. Please don't crash into my load. Please be no. Yeah, excellent. No traffic. No traffic. That's good. So right, we're back on track. We're following the GPS again. It still says 14 hours. I've got a feeling that a huge chunk of that is going to be the ferry ride to Turku. That's fine by me. I can't remember, but I don't think we've got the garage in Turku, so we'll buy the garage, but we're not going to put anyone in it. But we are going to buy the garage in Helsinki. That might be something that we do at the beginning of the next episode. But we're on our way. We're practically on the doorstep of the ferry port. And you can see it actually in the top right hand corner of the GPS, which this road, and then turn right and then we're on the ferry. And they're fine. Yeah, they're fine. And another one. Oh no, we got lucky on that one. Alright. Yeah, we got lucky on that one as well. We didn't get fine there either. Alright. There we go. racking up those fines. So buying that and fitting out that garage cost us just under $1 million. Sorry, dragged us below 8 million. So but that is completely fine by me, because we'll be able to return to £8 million relatively quickly with an extended garage. That's how we got there in the first place. So Scandinavia's got, Stockholm's got its Scanias, and I've added Scania to the roster of vehicles that my little empire has. Right, this one we have to drive on to. I think I've missed my exit for the boat. Oh no, no, no. I might be okay. I don't remember this ferry port very well. Ah no, there we are. Helsinki to the right. There we go. And we'll park ourselves behind some logs. And let's enter. So, Turku, 11 hours and 5 minutes. That's a rest break. £640. That's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. Okay. And it's now 9 o'clock in the morning, which means it's daytime. Fantastic. I was worried there for a brief moment because I couldn't see a red line on the GPS, but it's just appeared. That's fine by me. So we're in Finland. You see the Finnish flags, the white background with the blue cross, like a blue version of the English flag. Alright. That one should be easy. That's a gate control thing, so it'll be fine. And it's a left turn at this roundabout. So we haven't talked about Liverpool for a long time, even though this video's, to all intents and purposes, a discussion about Liverpool while driving. Oh, you arsehole. You did see that, right? Oh, and another one. What the hell? Oh, we got hooked up. We got hooked up on that roundabout. I didn't take a wide enough swing. And so, as a result... Alright, let's have a quick look at the map. Where's the garage? It's there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Oh, actually, I don't think I can. I don't think I can go that way. I've got to go this way, and then in, and then pull a U-E. Alright, so... Oh no, I can go this way. It is the shorter route. hope it's the shorter route. I hope. Yeah. Oh, this is busy. Go, go. Excellent. We're going not the way the GPS wants us to go, but I do want to buy that garage. The garage in Turku, I'm not going to put any cars in, any lorries in, sorry. It's just to get the petrol tank, the petrol station. So there won't be any of that picking over drivers like there was in Stockholm. Let's take a left turn here. That's our Volvo dealership. Okay, I think I will have fully explored Turku by the time I do this as well. Ooh, that was all very close. That was all very, very close. Right. Right then. You know the drill. Pause here, unhook the trailer, by the garage, and then back off. Yes, I want to buy the garage. Alright, let's escape that and back out and pick our load up again. We're being yelled at by the traffic. Alright, so go to garage, go to, where's Turku? Can't see it. This is the problem you have when you start to have a lot. Okay. No, it's not there. Let's go back in again and see if there's Turku now. Right. Let's upgrade it so we get the garage. Boom. Alright. And now let's get back to our journey to Helsinki. So we're nearly there. We're nearly completed this load. That's why I'm so infuriated about bumping into that lorry with the concrete slabs in it. Because other than that, I think we had a relatively safe journey. We would have avoided the 1% probably. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be 2% by the time we chuck it into the garage in Helsinki. So we've got 2.5 hours of in-game driving left. So that's probably about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm possibly going to have to record a separate segment for the parking, because I think it might not be enough time for me to get the truck into the garage before the camera dies on me. It might be alright. Ooh, look at the road ahead, young man. Look at the road ahead. And obviously we haven't been to Helsinki, so we will have to give Helsinki a good, thorough driving around. So that's another opportunity for us to ding our load, as has become my want. We just got shoved over to 8 million by Yana with 3k. That little 3k just chucked us back over 8 million. But that's going to take a huge dent in a minute when we get to Helsinki. I wouldn't mind actually having the garage before the rest break, before the end of the journey, so that we get the chance to earn some money in the garage, but I suppose we can do that at the beginning of the next journey. So another road, another bridge through a tunnel. Interesting, a different style. Obviously this is a game, so there's probably only about 5 or 6 different styles of tunnel. The game can't be too unwieldy to load. But, no, this is great fun. So, 4 games from a title, hopefully. It's not certain yet, but I don't know how I'm going to react. Should they actually do it? I'm not sure how I'll be. I mean, it's going to be a positive reaction. It's something I've wanted for 24 years, but I remember I didn't know how to cope with us winning the European Cup in 2005. So, also I'm very upset that I'm not in the country. I'm not part of that buzz. I've not had that sort of rivalry. Hardly anybody in New Zealand is into football. There are enough people that one felt it was worth buying the Premier League footage, but I think that's probably expats. That's not Kiwis necessarily. I am. Not sure, but we'll see. So I mean, it's the next day after that amazing but exhausting win against Manchester City. We've got a game against relegation battles Norwich, and then another potentially seriously exhausting game against Chelsea. Then Crystal Palace, who, as I've already stated in this video, I hope are safe and don't really care about this game. And then finally Newcastle, who are a massive banana skin. Massive banana skin. They're not a team to be taken lightly. While I'm talking about Liverpool, I should talk about the other big Liverpool football club, and that's Everton, who are doing tremendously well. They are just a gnat's whisker away from being in the top 4, which would be wonderful, having 2 Liverpudlian clubs in the Champions League, Liverpool and Everton. I think that would be awesome for the city of Liverpool. Can you imagine? Can you imagine I can imagine the infrastructure around the two grounds, which, if you're not familiar with the 2 grounds, they're either side of a relatively small park. You can see one ground from the other. It's one of those things. I've got to turn off here. I'm glad I was looking at the GPS, because I would have sailed past. Nearly missed that one as well. Wow, the road network around is bloody complicated. Have you seen that mess? Have you seen this mess? This is a little bit too complicated for one city. It really is a little bit complicated. So we're going here. Ah, damn it. And it's taking us Okay. So I would, crikey, I bet you in order to get to this and to this, I have to, okay, we're not gonna, thing is, while you're doing a job, you can't redirect your, easy, you can't redirect your vehicle to anywhere else. It asks you if you want to cancel the job, and this is job number 85, and I haven't cancelled a journey yet. 0 jobs cancelled so far, and that's the way I want to keep it. So let's just double check that map again. Okay, so okay, that's confusing. Maybe why is it taking us this way instead of, okay, possibly that part, yeah, that part of the roadway doesn't exist, so you can't take that slip road. Oh, curses. Yeah, there's my 2% damage. So no, I did it, I blew it at the beginning and I blew it at the end of the journey. Too eager at the beginning, too complacent at the end. I'm probably doing damage to the truck because I'm using my fingers to accelerate and brake, and it's a completely different process with pedals and a steering wheel than it is with right, I'm going to pull over. Oh, Helsinki discovered. I'm going to pull over for a second. I'm going to pause the footage and I'm going to start again with a new with a new recording, because obviously it's got a 50-minute record limit. So, and I'm about to bump up against that. So, bear with me a second. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back, and we've started a new recording, so hopefully this should be good until the end of the journey. There should be enough space on the camera left for both of these. So, I'm probably going to do my exploration of Helsinki, given how large Helsinki is. I'm probably going to do my exploration of Helsinki in the next video rather than this one. Right. I'm going to want to take a left here. The game wants me to go right. What the heck am I doing? Where's my map gone? Alright, yes. It wants me to go right, but I'm going to go left. Because I want to pick up the garage. So that's what I'm going to do. I think that blue sleep sign that you can see off the right centre. Oh no, ignore me. Oh, no, I thought that blue thing was the. Are you kidding me? That was very nearly damage done. Right. So we're nearly at our garage, so it's going to be our second garage of this journey. For some reason, the load gets a little bit hooked up on those roundabouts. Helsinki does need a little bit of work. It doesn't look quite as good as some of the other cities. Let's see if I can pull a Yui. Alright, let's unhook and let's just get it in and then. Yes, 144,000. Boom, get in there. Alright, we've done that. Right, let's hook our load up so we don't lose our load. Because I do not trust. Oh, flipping heck. Every single journey I make some stupid error that I could easily fix if I just had a little bit more patience. Right. Oh no, I didn't want the radio. Let's get rid of that annoying beep. Right, so we're going to pull forward, so give us plenty of room to pull a Yui. I'm going to get that discoverable before we go to the depot. I think the safest way of getting to that discoverable is left. Oh, sorry, who did I tag? 3%. That is a combination of me tagging that car just now and me crashing the cabin into the load when I reversed into it. So we are kind of heading back to the depot, but not. No, I don't need that. I just realised the high beams were still on. I don't need that. Oh no. No. Right. I do need to go pull a Yui. Oh no, hang on. No, ignore me. That would be going the wrong way down a one-way road, and I don't want to do that. So, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a Yui here. There we go. Oh, blimey, sneaky little bugger. I think we take a left here to go to the discoverable. Damn, this is complicated. And, ooh, nice. More undiscovered road being discovered. There's an awful lot of dead depots in Helsinki. I don't know if you've noticed. Right turn here. I think that's the right move. And then hopefully, what I would like that to be. Yeah, I know I've bust through a lot of red lights in Helsinki. Probably really annoyed the people of Helsinki. Right. And another one. Yeah, they definitely have fixed that business of being able to drive through a red light on the wrong side of the road. So we'll do a U-turn. Oh, it's a dealership, never mind. It's a MAN truck dealership. Well, that's fine, it's a discoverable we didn't have, but it's not the kind of discoverable I wanted. I want the recruitment agencies. Right, now we're going to follow the road to the depot, and we're going to do as we're told this time. If we get through that. Yeah, that's good. Right, we'll follow this. I'm not going to try and overtake this car transporter because I don't think we've got enough time to get past him and make our right turn, which is imminent. Of course, that does mean that we have to stop at the red light. Handbrake on. So we're nearly there. Nearly another chance to witness my appalling standard of driving. My awful, awful driving. Right. And here we go. This is the one that I was going to try and drive down. Of course, that would have been a disaster because I would have been going the wrong way. And I'm rather handily blocking both lanes of traffic, which is bad form. Why on earth did that car just come to a halt? Right, let's see the entrance. What the hell? Why are they stopping there? Why are they randomly stopping there? It's not a... It's not a junction. I'm afraid I had to clatter him, because he's the architect of his own downfall. Right, let's see how we do this. Damn, not good. Here's how. Right, we're backing out. We're trying to do if you've watched my Scania truck driving simulator, you'll see that I'm not very good at manoeuvring this truck. And I don't know. I'm pretty good with a car. I missed the first time with a car. But with a truck, it's a totally different matter. I just don't seem... Yeah, this is not happening. And let's pull it over, pull it out, straighten it up just a little bit. No, too much. Nope, no. Oh, no, you stupid idiot. What was going to be a relatively straightforward reverse is now been made more difficult because I raced out with the steering wheel at the wrong angle, and so I've steered into the wrong direction. There we go, that'll do. Right, get rid of that reversing noise. Handbrake on, engine off. And let's see whether we got a good work or a satisfactory. Let's have a look and see how bad that final result was. %. Oh, so close to level 34. Right, so we got a good work. 997 miles, 43 hours and 45 minutes, 555.1 litres, base reward of £35,325 and 1,605 XP. A proficiency bonus for level 33 of £17,486, an ADR delivery bonus for class 3 of 337 XP, a long distance delivery bonus for skill rank 6 of £6,786 and 401 XP. An urgent delivery bonus for skill rank 5 of £8,483 and 481 XP, and a bonus for parking the trailer of 45 XP. However, we suffered a damage. Oh gosh, Englandish is my second language. Language. Oh my god, it gets worse. In every respect. So yes, 3% was our damage penalty, which cost us £400, and it cost us 41 XP. So we did really need to do that. We didn't really need to manually park the vehicle to mitigate the XP loss. So that gave us a total of £67,680, and it gave us 2,828 XP. That pushed us to, it's ridiculous, 69 XP from level 34. So this profile has a lifetime XP of 126,831, and we are still looking at 126,900 for the next level. That's going to happen no matter what. That's going to happen at the end of the next journey. Also at the beginning of the next journey, we will upgrade the garage, put in. The next drive isn't going to happen for a while, so what I might do is I might pick a relatively close destination in order to prevent the drive from being too long, and also in order to prevent the video from being too long, because I've got to upgrade the garage, recruit 5 drivers, and then explore Helsinki. So I will do all of that at the beginning of the next video. So we will have some, depending on how you look at this game, we'll either have some fun, or you'll have to spin through a large portion of the next video. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and until I see you in the next video, I'll see you on the road.